Hello. This hair gonna have to look crazy for a while I drive. Good morning. Happy Monday. You're a teacher or you're in school. It is the last Monday of school in 2021. 2020 junior. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kim Ray. This is Kim Ray Music TV, and I am driving to work. And I'm here to do an Insecure review. We did not talk about, so we're gonna kind of talk about episode 7 and 8. Episode 7 disappointed me, and episode 8, I mean, it didn't really disappoint me as much as it just made me mad because it was so good, but it made me mad. Like, in life, there really definitely are choices that have to be made, and I don't know if I fully vibe with all of Issa's choices. Just like I don't know if she fully vibes with them herself. If you're new here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel so that you know what's up, what's good. Couple things that's coming is our year in review. My hands are so ashy. I washed them before I got in the car. My year in review for 2021. We have like the top 10 things that we discuss, and yeah, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, so we opened this episode with Issa and Nathan in the bed, and I was like, okay, they look cute. They was real cute in the bed. And let me see. So as they're laying there, you know, he's asking her what she's thinking about, and she's talking about squirrels running and the fact that Tiffany's moving. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I never feel like they're an authentic girls group, like them four. So when she says that she's don't really feel it, I mean, it is a show, she said it, so we must believe it, right? What is going on with this eye? I think this eye looks darker than the other one because I'm looking cross-eyed on here. Anyway, so she's saying that she's thinking about that. We know that they've recently told each other that they love each other, and so he moves to the restroom to kind of like start getting ready for the day, and she follows him in there, or you know, she's starting to brush her teeth, and they're just talking about how close they're getting and how they're just enjoying each other, and end up talking about moving in with each other. Now look, what I like about this dynamic is ain't nobody rushing to get married just because they want to move in with each other. I know that that's an antiquated way of thinking, but it's the way most of us were raised. And unfortunately, a lot of us are like, oh, dang, like, I don't want to just move in and I'm not married because it's going to be bad juju, or like, he'll never want to marry me because why? What's the old saying? Why buy the milk when you have the cow? I think that's the saying. And anyway, why are we describing ourselves as cows? But I get it, right? They're basically saying if you give it all to him without any type of commitment, he's not gonna want to commit. But I also feel like although men are seemingly simple, also like if a person wants to get married, like that should be clear from jump, like this is what we're doing, this is what we want to do, and then there should be checkpoints as you move through to decide like, okay, do we still want to do this? Is this still something that we're working towards? Yes, no, you know. So when they're talking about moving in with each other, on one hand I'm like, that's kind of soon. On the other hand, I'm like, it's a year lease, y'all both bring y'all stuff in, y'all try it out, and then if it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out. The commitment that you make though is that you will respect each other's space. You won't do anything egregious. Like, enjoy the ride while you're on the ride. And that's the advice I would give if I had a daughter, if I had a son. If any of my students came to me and asked me as they're grown, like y'all know I used to have the steppers, they're grown now. If they asked me that, I would sincerely give that advice, because the advice that I was given and what I was raised under, I just don't think it's feasible. So, they're talking about it. They end up deciding like, okay, we'll think about that. We'll work towards that. We'll think about that. And I just like the clear communication. Nobody's guessing, wondering, trying to figure out like, where's your head at? Where's my head at? Like, everyone knows What's good? Y'all look at my coffee cup. Isn't this cute? It looks like a camera lens. Anyway, so Issa goes ahead and gets her day started. Remember, she is putting on this event with the Anthology Collective. And it kind of looked like a black market. Now, if you've been to Houston, they have this black market every first Friday of the month and every second Saturday of the month. Friday night of the month and second Saturday, like afternoon of the month. And it's where all these black business owners come together in like a farmer's market type of style. They got food trucks, might have a live act singing. They got like a host that walks around with a mic. And it's just like an overall feel-good, great time. Like, feel like a big family reunion. And so that's what it seemed like Issa had going on. And you know, you see different artists, you see all of their art out there, and I just love to see stuff like that. If we didn't already have that here, I would be I'm back. Oh yeah. Okay. What was I saying? All right, so yeah, she's thrown on this event. Koya is code switching for all the different guests coming in that are different races, and Nathan's there with his cousin. They seem to be trying to get back on with things, and Nathan mentions like a men's group that he has started or that he's a part of at the she's asking him to pose for a picture. I'm like, okay, it's giving jail poses, but all right. And this lady comes up who's like a super fan, and she's like, you stopped me from going to that bridge. And I'm just like, this twist out is beautiful, it's amazing, but it's giving crazy. Like, let's calm down. But yeah, so she's there. The event is a success, and who shows up but Ralph Angel in the parking lot, looking good, honey, looking good. And basically he's trying to come crawl back because he realized like the work to putting on an event and doing all these things was way harder than he thought, as far as like the legal side. And this is what I was talking about. I kept saying, like, yes, you're the artist, yes, you have all the things, but you may not understand the business aspect, and you need to give a little grace for that and try to understand it, especially if you're trying to have longevity as an artist. And he was just not trying to do that. And so when he comes to tell Issa all this, I'm kind of like, okay, are you coming back with an apology, or are you coming back with like, oh, I see what you can do for me, so can we do that? Because that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like a genuine, like, I apologize for, you know, what is the word? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I apologize for not misunderstanding. I can't think of the word, but basically where you think you know, but you have no idea. That's what he should have been doing. But you know, also he's like from the streets, and he has like this whole different way of talking. So I guess in his own little way, he is apologizing, but it's more like, oh, I see what you can do for me. We can make a lot of money together. Like, so what you doing? So this kind of uncovers like all these decisions that Issa has to make within these last 2 episodes. Okay, we know that she is going back and forth in her mind with Lawrence and Nathan, and I get it. Like, she had let Lawrence go, he came back and then was snatched from her again, and now he's back in town, and she's been told that he's not really with her. But my thing is, she needs to think about if she's fine, because Issa does not do well with sharing her man. So she needs to think about if she would be fine with sharing her man with Condola. And this baby is a whole infant on its way to toddlerism. So they're going to be sitting there watching the baby walk, like all these things. She's going to have to watch this dynamic. She's going to have to look at this kid that they created together. I just don't know. Like, it takes a special level of maturity and a special level of grace and a special love of children. Because listen, I love the kids. And I feel like sometimes when you love the kid, you'll accept almost anything because it's by way of a child. Like, y'all know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, getting Lawrence back doesn't just mean like, oh, I get to be in love with Lawrence because now he lives here and we don't have to do this long distance thing. Like, no, it means you're taking on a whole child at the very beginning of their life. It's not like you're taking on a 10-year-old. It's not like you're taking on a 16-year-old. It's not like you're taking on an 18-year-old. You are taking on what, maybe 6-month-old? So let's just be real. Let's just be real when we think about, like, could you really do this each and every day and not punish this man every day for his decision to be there for his child? And I don't even think she needs to be for sure, like just for the rest of her life. I just think that she needs to be clear that she's always going to stay true to grounding herself in the fact that this man chose to be there for his child and step up for his child. They were done. They didn't have no relationship. This is over. She's cool with Kendall, or at least she was. Like, I just don't think Issa got it in her. I just don't. Issa, the character, I just don't think that she has it in her. And I think that Nathan is providing and giving all that she needs. But that's the thing. Like, we always sit there and toy with the what if. And it could be a lot on the line. It could be something that's going to completely take you out of your comfort zone. But deep down in your heart, is this what you really want? And that's the advice that Molly ended up giving her later, right? So, we get 2 daydreams. Okay, we get a daydream of her going with, and I thought, I'm just very confused about how all this business stuff works. And that's why, like, somebody got to teach us business. They really do. I need to take a class or something, like, and not online, because I've taken most of my classes like online, a lot of classes online, and somehow I got through it by the grace of God. But I need like some real, like, somebody gonna have to explain to me, because the water people, she's trying to choose between going with the water people or going with Crenshaw. And I'm like, I didn't know that they did the same thing. I thought Crenshaw was an artist, and I thought they were just sponsoring. I'm confused. Y'all explain that in the comments. I don't know. But she's trying to decide between that. And so the first daydream is her going with the water company. She's like jet setting, and she's like traveling different places to speaking arrangements, and got the press, right? But she's moved to West Hollywood, still with Nathan. He's there when she comes back in the same dingy looking shirt, let rocks tell it. And you know, it's kind of there for her even in her new life, but she's realizing, or the resounding theme in that is that she's sold out. She somehow had to sell out to get to where she's at. And so yeah, so that's one side, right? She's in first class with Ty Dolla $ign. He mentions this artist Crenshaw, and she's like, oh wow, okay, so he did end up blowing up, or, you know, I didn't work with him. Both daydreams like coincide with each other, kind of, right? So then the next daydream is her, you know, choosing Crenshaw and them taking over Inglewood. She gets the key to the city. They're opening up businesses. Oh, I forgot to say, on the first one, her team expands. So she has like, you know, multiple assistants instead of just Koya, who, by the way, Koya, the outfits and the looks were spot on this episode. I mean, looking good and moisturized. I follow her on online on TikTok and stuff, and she's just so eloquently woke. I just love her. I think her name is Courtney. So yeah, so Issa got a decision to make. One is like, she doesn't sell out, she stays true to her city. But in that daydream, she's still with Nathan. She stays in the same apartment, still being the RA, basically the leasing manager, or the maintenance person, and still having to unclog Trina's toilet. And then within this daydream, she hears Lawrence's voice, and Lawrence comes at her to congratulate her, almost kissing her, and she's screaming. So it's just like, okay, yeah, like we've all kind of been here where you're like, whoo, should I have went this way? Should I have went that way? These are the odds, those are the odds. These are the goods, these are the goods there. These are the bads, like negative, like both of them are equal pretty much with pros and cons. So what are we doing? What do I do? Like, we've all, and if you haven't been there, you're gonna be there, okay? We've all kind of been there. And so she's just trying to decide, like, which one do I do? And which one is gonna make me fully happy? Like, I could have money and access and like travel across the world and still have my man to come back to, or I could, you know, not do that and stay true to my roots. But then does that mean I stay with my man? I thought it was interesting though that the successful one, Lawrence wasn't in that one. Like the one with money, the one where she quote unquote sold out, he wasn't in that one. And then the one where she did sell out, or I'm sorry, and then also neither one of them her friends was in. Neither one. Her friends were not there. So I also was just like, okay, what does this mean? Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was just like the way they shot it. I don't know. But I was like, okay, you got a decision to make. But every time I saw Lawrence, it just kept making me nervous that she's going to end up calling Nathan Lawrence. And that's what we don't want. Like, girl, make a clear and informed decision so that you don't end up calling this man the wrong name, fully hurting him, because he's all in. And that's the thing. Like, it's not like she's dealing with a trash dude, and that's what makes this decision so sweet. She's not dealing with a trash dude who's like, it's easy to pick your ex because he's treating you like trash. It's not that at all, unfortunately. Instead, she has a good dude. She has building a comfortable life. Like, she wouldn't have to. She knows that he's going to love her. She knows that he's going to be committed to her. Sure, he comes with his things, but also he's trying. He's working on it. Like, knows all that. And then the same thing with Lawrence. He definitely comes with a whole baby. We know that as well. But it's also like, that's who she truly loves. So the ends would justify the means. Like, y'all look at this new highlighter brick from NYX or NYX. It's the Money Heist. I feel like a mother, a makeup artist. So yeah, it's like she's trying to decide like which one is gonna be best, and I'm just like, girl, you gonna mess up both chances, because number one thing that Chad said on the upcoming episode is, he was like, you didn't even fight for her. So there is that part. I was just like, dang, no, he didn't. But also he had other priorities. And then another thing is too, is like, okay, if he would have fought for her, would she have just given in? Like, I don't know with Issa, because she's just so flip-floppy so easily. Like, her decisions don't be all that informed. I know that she's growing. I know that she has insecurities. But it just kind of be like, girl, dang, like, choose something. I don't know. Are y'all like this? I know that I was like this, and I know that I can be like this. I don't ever regret my decisions when I make them. But I do be feeling like, dang, like, I sat with that decision, like, a really long time. Or I do be like, okay, I need my best friends to, like, let me know, like, is this the right decision? What should I do? I do be like that. So I guess I get that part. But it's also kind of like, too, like, I don't know where my black brush is. It's also kind of like, too, like, there's going to be so many decisions in life. And maybe this is the first time Issa's had to do this. There's so many decisions in life where you kind of have to choose and just be content with your decision. Like, because you can't just keep going back. Like, oh, what if I would have chose this? And maybe I should have, or what if this, what if that? Like, in life, that's not going to work. You're going to have to choose something and fully just be like, okay, and that's like, listen, when I make a choice with my hair, it'd be hard sometimes. I'd be like, okay, is this gonna come across as a little ghetto, a little ratch? Okay, if it does, like, I fully commit to that. We're in it now. We are halfway. We have chose the color. It is in your head. Like, we are doing this. And that's just, I mean, it just is what it is. It's just the way life is. So, yeah, so Issa has some decisions to make. Now, hopping over to Molly. Remember, Molly is trying to help her parents prepare their will. Now, the great thing about the military is a lot of that stuff be done for you. My parents are military, so they have all that stuff in order. You know, my mom is, I'm not gonna tell her age because she don't even say it herself, but she has all that stuff together. She's let me know, like, this is where this is how to do this is where I would leave this, like, fully tapped into all that. And my grandparents as well. But it is very common for people to just not want to discuss death. Now, in my own marriage, when I talk to my husband about it, he don't like it. He don't like it. And I'm like, okay, I need you to understand, like, even though we're young, like, we live in a big city, there's always things happening. You just never know, and you just want to make sure that you're prepared. He don't like it. I'm still working on him. Still working on him. But anyway, she goes over there with Kelly. Remember, Kelly is a financial advisor, and so they're going to sit down and talk about, like, what they're putting in their will, how to split it up, all those things. Girl. So I don't know why it feels like I'm not done. So yes, and hopefully my service is doing okay. So yeah, they're sitting down there talking, and you know, the brother's real uncomfortable. He like, y'all want some tea? He realizes they ain't got no tea. He leaves. Like, he can't do the conversation. It's a whole lot. The other brother is like a little scatterbrain, like, what about this? What about that? And so it is up to Molly to, like, keep the conversation focused. Kelly definitely is bringing the comedy and still, like, putting the mom at ease. And it was so good to see Molly's mom, like, better. So good to see her better. Just like, okay, like, she's doing a whole lot better. But Molly's also, like, more attentive. Like, okay, there are things that they need that I'm realizing they don't know. And so that's going to be my job. What I like about the parents, though, is they are receptive to that. Like, there are things we don't know. Can you please help us? There's a certain amount of vulnerability that goes into that I feel like a lot of times that generation just, they don't be wanting to do, because they just feel like we're millennials and we think we know everything. And it's like, but we're also of the age of the internet, the age right after you, where so many things change in the world. Like, give us some slack, give us some, you know, some credit. But anyway, you know, they're sitting down and they're divvying everything up, deciding this will go here. And the dad just looks overwhelmed. Molly's reassuring him. And Crystal had predicted that Kelly was going to take this on as a job. Like, she's going to become passionate about helping Black families with their finances, especially with what she said on Girls Night. Like, she's tired of just putting money into rich white men's pockets. And that's so real. And so by the end of the day, Molly's fully exhausted, just crying. And I so feel her, because she did the right thing. She was all that her family needed in that moment, but also it's draining. It is a lot to do and be for others when they aren't for themselves. It's just a lot. Torian ends up, you know, trying to see about their date, and unfortunately, you know, Molly has to cancel, but he comes through with the wings and the wine. So I'm like, I can see these two getting married. I know I'm jumping quite a bit, but we only got 2 episodes left. I'm pulling into work and I'm already late for a meeting, so I'm gonna hop off here. But you guys let me know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. We didn't really talk about episode 7. It didn't happen. We're moving on. It didn't happen. But yeah, I'm Camry. This is Camry Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time. Like the video and subscribe to my channel. Ooh, the back end so effortlessly. Bye.